In 2007, the Orchard at Penryn apartment project was rejected by the Placer County planners because high-density commercial residential property violates the land use designation for the rural greenbelt. E.J. Braldi explains.
The Penryn Parkway is generally located along Penryn Road between Interstate 80 and Taylor Road and comprises 166 acres. The intent behind the Penryn Parkway designation was to designate a concise, identifiable area that would encourage a compact commercial core to serve the overall Penryn area. Policy E in the community plan states that the Penryn Parkway is intended as a highway service-oriented retail area which also allows for multiple family residential uses. In essence, this area was established to preserve the rural character of the vast majority of the plan area.
The character of the parkway is that of an urban village. It's a blend of traveler-oriented sales and service commercial projects near the freeway and relatively low-density housing in the greenbelt along Penryn Road. Now, in 2012, the Orchard at Penryn project is back and has been approved by the Placer County planners, much to the disappointment of the community.
It's a terrible shame that we, the citizens of the area, have to spend so many resources trying to defend ourselves from the very government that should be looking after our interests. This project is so out of line with the community plan, it is amazing. It violates it in numerous areas. It's been brought up to the county. They ignore that. The project just keeps pressing through. The county has made it very clear it is their intent to put far more of this type density right in this area. I see this as coming as apartment row. Instead of being what was intended, it's called a parkway, Penryn Parkway, because it was to be a broad, scenic thoroughfare that was an inviting entrance to the community. Instead, if 10 years from now, this is going to look like North Highlands or Antelope. And that is exactly what we do not want.
On 10/11/2012, the Placer planners recommended apartment row for the Penryn Parkway.
I'm E.J. Valdi with the Planning and Service Division. I'm joined here with Michael Johnson, the agency director, along with our county staff and the EIR consultant as well. So one of the underlying issues raised by both appellants is the project's consistency with the Horseshoe Bar Penryn Community Plan. That included Penryn Parkway and the underlying zone district. I show a zoning map up on the screen right now, and it shows that the property has two zonings. 9.9 acres is zoned RMDL10. This is a residential multifamily zoning with a density limitation of 10 units per acre. This designation allows for a maximum of 10 multiple family residential units per acre with approval of a minor use permit. On that western half, the 5.2 acres adjacent to Penryn Road is zoned C1 UPDC. That is a neighborhood commercial zoning with a combining use permit requirement. This designation allows for one multiple family residential unit per 2,000 square feet, or approximately 20 units per acre, 21 units per acre. That calculates out to the possibility of 113 residential units on that eastern half. Collectively, the current zoning on the two parcels could potentially allow for up to 212 multifamily residential units. So here's an exhibit showing the Penryn Parkway, and what this shows is existing and approved development within the parkway as it is today. So as we flip through these sides, you see the change that is going on. This actually shows the properties that have been developed with single-family residences that have, I guess we can consider them to be underutilized, and they could potentially be developed in the future with more intense uses.
The landowners who have built homes within the Greenbelt were promised in the community plan that the parkway would remain the open, natural landmass that it is. The citizens of Penryn and the town of Loomis have appealed the planners' decisions and are very disappointed that the Board of Supervisors allow their staff to disregard the county zoning and land use policies.
Madam Chair, members of the board, my name is Keith Wagner. I'm with the law firm Lippy Gaffney Wagner LLP. I represent the Stop 150 Apartments group. and submitted the August 7th appeal letter that is included in your board packet. The grounds for appeal raised by Stop 150 include both issues under the California Environmental Quality Act in terms of the EIR's inadequate disclosures of potential impacts and violations of the city or the county's own zoning and general plan law. The problem is that when the county adopted its zoning ordinance, it stated that it is the intent of the Placer County Board of Supervisors that this chapter be adopted and maintained so as to be consistent with the general plan and applicable community plans. The zoning ordinance then goes on to say that when conflicts occur between the provisions of this chapter and standards adopted by ordinance and any applicable community plan, including those areas within the jurisdiction of the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency, the provisions of the community plan shall apply. In other words, what this is saying is the zoning is relevant for these parcels to the extent that it states outward maximums of what could happen in the absence of any limitations otherwise imposed by the community plan. In this case, the community plan imposes exactly such limitations. Exactly such limitations. The community plan says that development in the Penryn Parkway shall be of a relatively low density. And the community plan actually defines outright what low density is, which is 0.4 to 2.3 acres per dwelling, which yields a maximum of 2.5 dwellings per acre when you turn the math around. Medium density residential at 2 to 4 units per acre, high density 4 to 10. The maximum density allowed anywhere in this community plan under high density standards is 10 dwelling units per acre. And that's what this project does for every last acre in the Penryn Parkway. Yet the plan says must be of relatively low density. Now the response to this is that staff has pointed to a policy that says, well, what relatively low density means is 2 stories. That's not a reasonable interpretation. That's an unreasonable interpretation. Density means density. Doesn't mean height. It means density. How many units per acre? In this case, this plan allows a maximum, even at medium density, of 4 dwelling units per acre. That's what this plan allows in the Penryn Parkway. Any development that is proposed for this site that would exceed that density is a violation of the community plan and the county zoning. And that's what this project does at 150 units per acre.
Supervisor Euler in that case because his light is on.
Yes, thank you. Throughout your presentation, you kept referencing the maximum allowable units as 60 units. How did you arrive at that? What I'm wondering is what are the assumptions behind?
Oh, okay. Well, the assumption is that the community plan has a maximum medium density standard of 4 units per acre.
Okay.
And so this project is on 15 acres of land.
Okay.
And so 15 times 4 equals 60.
Yes. And though zoning specifically enumerates, as staff articulated, the potential of up to 212 units, I believe it was, 212 units, based on the zoning. You just say that we should, regardless of what the zoning says and the zoning map says, we should apply this medium density residential standard.
As the maximum, it's not even medium. What the plan says is low density, and it's not me that is saying that's what you should apply. It's your zoning code.
On November 6, 2012, the Board of Supervisors threw back the Orchard at Penryn project, requesting that the developer modify the proposal so that it would conform with the well-established interpretation of the Horseshoe Bar Penryn Community Plan. The next public hearing is scheduled for December 11, 2012. and you can expect an update here shortly thereafter.